Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into the world of product analytics. Now, I know it can sound a little intimidating, but trust me, it all boils down to one really simple but super powerful idea.
Just think about it for a second. Every single day, your users are in your product, clicking, scrolling, and interacting with everything you've built. They're literally writing a story about what works for them, what doesn't, and what they actually find valuable. So the real question is, are you listening to that story?
And that right there is the heart of product analytics. It's the set of tools, the methods that let you translate all that user activity into a story you can actually understand. It gives you the insights you desperately need to build better products. It's how you learn to listen.
Okay, let's dive into this. So, first things first, before you can even begin to understand what's happening in your product, you have to know who it's happening to. So the number one job of analytics is to paint a super clear picture of your users.
I want you to think of these as the diagnostic tools for let's say, a product doctor. You've got user segmentation to group similar patients, put them together. You've got user journey mapping to trace the exact path they take. And then you have tools like feedback analysis and the Net Promoter Score, or NPS, which is basically like asking them directly, so how are you feeling about all this?
Let's just double-click on user segmentation for a moment, because honestly, this is the foundation for everything else. Instead of trying to analyze this giant, faceless crowd of people, you can start looking at really specific groups, like brand new users from Germany, or maybe your power users who are all on Android. This lets you understand their unique needs, their unique behaviors. It's a game changer.
All right, so once you have a handle on who your users are, the next big question is, what are they actually doing inside your product? This, my friends, is where the rubber meets the road. This is where we separate what we think is happening from what's really happening.
And this, right here, this is so important. A user might tell you in a survey that they desperately want some new feature, but when you look at their actual in-app behavior, the data might show they never even touch similar features you already have. Analytics helps you focus on what people do, not just what they say they're going to do.
Now, some metrics are like a quick pulse check for your product's health, and daily active users, or DAU, is one of the big ones. It's a vital sign that tells you, just at a glance, how many unique users are engaging with your product every day. It's your first clue to whether your product is healthy or not.
But here's the cool part. Analytics can go from this wide-angle, panoramic lens all the way down to a microscope. So while DAU and MAU give you that high-level how's the patient doing overview, a metric like feature adoption rate lets you zoom right in. It tells you exactly which parts of your product people are loving and, well, which parts are just collecting dust.
Okay, so this is where it all starts to come together. We know who our users are, we know what they're doing. Now what? Well, now we connect those dots. We connect that behavior to our actual goals to figure out, are we succeeding? And maybe even more importantly, why are we succeeding or why not? This is probably one of the biggest questions that keeps product managers up at night. You're doing a great job getting people to show up. You get them in the door, but they aren't sticking around. They're not finishing that key action. So where's the leak in the bucket? This is where something called conversion funnel analysis becomes your absolute best friend. So just imagine this funnel for a minute. By looking at the data, you might discover that, hey, 80% of people who visit create an account. That's great. But only 10% of those people actually start a free trial. Whoa, that huge drop-off right there tells you precisely where the problem is. There's some kind of friction at that exact step, and that's where you need to focus.
And once you find that leak, you've got this whole amazing toolkit to figure out the cause. Churn analysis can tell you why people are leaving. A/B testing lets you run scientific experiments to find a better solution. And time-to-value analysis tells you how fast new users are having that aha moment. The moment your product just clicks for them.
So all of this leads us to what is, for me, the most exciting part. Product analytics isn't just about looking backwards. It's about using all these insights to basically build a crystal ball for the future, to guide your strategy and help you answer that million-dollar question, what on earth should we build next?
This is really where you put all the pieces together. You use analytics to confirm you actually have product-market fit. You build out dashboards so you can monitor the health of your product in real time. And you use all of that incredible data to inform your product roadmap.
And that is the ultimate goal, right? Product roadmap analytics means you are no longer making these huge decisions based on a gut feeling or, just whoever shouts the loudest in a meeting. You are using cold, hard evidence from real user behavior to decide what to build.
You're making sure that every single hour your team spends is on something that actually matters to your users. So, the crucial point is this. If you don't remember anything else, remember this simple 4-part framework. First, you got to understand the who. Second, you have to track the what. What are they doing? Third, you measure the why. Why is it succeeding or failing? And finally, you use all of that to guide the what's next with a roadmap that's actually based on data. You know, at the end of the day, it really just comes down to this. The story of your product, of its successes and its failures, is being written right now, as we speak, by your users. That data isn't silent. In fact, it's practically shouting at you.
Your product is constantly asking these questions. Why don't users click on this button? Which feature do they love the most? Where should we go from here? With product analytics, for the first time, you actually have the tools to answer those questions. So the only question left is, are you ready to start that conversation?